yes, a Master of Science in Sustainability Management and Social Impact. And I'm glad that you arrived. You can also tell us in the chat a little bit if you have questions, maybe from where you are joining us. So yes, and if you have questions, as I was just saying something, please put it in the chat, and then we can also use like take your questions or your comments and integrate that in our presentation. Yes, so there will be some guest speakers today, professors who are teaching in the in the master program, and also two alumni will present what did they learn in the program and what are they doing now and how did it help them to boost their career. Okay, so let me first start with the best professor in the program. So this is Katia Picobello. She is a professor of supply chain management and operations management. She has also, yes, so everything which is dealing with supplier relationship, purchasing, and so she has a PhD from the University of Nantes. She is publishing widely and internationally reputed journals, just such as Cleaner Logistic and Supply Chain, the Journal of Purchasing and Supply Management, and she is connecting topics of innovation, supply chain management, and sustainability. And I'm very glad that she will briefly present now what she's teaching in the master program. So thank you, Katia, for coming.
Thank you, Gabriel, for inviting me. I'm very happy to share with you what I was teaching in this master. I really love teaching in this master. I think it's a very new way to show what has been changed in the context with different functions. I would just perhaps briefly to introduce myself, even Gabriel has doing very well. I said, yes, I am Katia Picobello. I have a Spanish last name and originally from Mexico. I'm associate professor and head of another master, which is purchasing supply chain management, which is more focused in French. I'm also responsible for courses such as purchasing strategies, and this one, green purchasing, that I'm going to introduce to you. Actually, green purchasing has been developed especially for this master. I'm also teaching courses such as open innovation. My research has focused on technology sourcing in the beginning. I was very interested about in which way suppliers can introduce their technology to the companies, and the companies can enjoy this relationship. Oh, sorry, I think, yes. I didn't see that my slide, that's better, I think. And then all about sustainability has influenced purchasing and supply management in the way how we can work with suppliers in a different way that is not only innovative, but also sustainable. And in that, I just started a research project in Europe. So I coordinate a research project regarding what actually are the skills that you need as students to be innovative and sustainable in the way this purchasing can be impact and change. I'm also very active in research, and I published this year this kind of question in an article named Innovation Through Sustainability, Identifying Purchasing Skills, Fostering Green Innovation. I'm very proud about that, and it's something that I put in my courses and provide to you what is the trends on this purchasing and supply chain management. That is from my side, but what is important for you, you come to this webinar is to know about more the course. So the course is focused on 3 blocks. We try to cover what we know very well, this 3P in the term of sustainability. What is good for planet, for prosperity, and people. And in that way, this module teach students how to develop strategies for taking into account scarcity in sourcing, so materials that are difficult to find it, but also try to find solutions, sustainable solutions for supply and at the same time being sustainable. The objectives of this course is to show you what are the different stages of the purchasing process, what actually is a purchasing process. We really provide to you the basic context of in which way companies use the purchasing process and evaluate what will be the criticality of the ecological and social challenges that we are today. We also teach students what are these sustainability risks associated with the different sourcing situations. You know that some products come from different countries, and we try to understand in which way we can assess the sustainability risk on that. We also define specific environmental and social purchasing strategies. It's not only about green purchasing, but we also know that green is also influenced by the social part. We have caring the way of suppliers work with their employees. It can also be benefit in the way the product of the quality product and in this environmental protection. Training, for example, is part of the practice we can use with supplier. And then we let students develop this critical reflect. What could be the best practices of green purchasing supply management on that? The course, as I said, is divided in 5 blocks. We provide the students the theoretical principles and tools. As I said, what exactly is purchasing, what could be influenced by these ecological and social challenges. We show you what is the traditional purchasing management process, but in which way we can adapt this process to a more sustainability process. In the block 2, we focus more about sustainable sourcing. Sourcing is about searching, selecting suppliers. In which way other criteria beyond the quality or cost can be used to select that supplier. And then, as I said, the social part is important, and we not only explain students, it's not only about you have to follow these criteria, but also if it's not possible, work with supplier, and not only suppliers, but the local environment of supplier. For example, if we think about Latin America companies, Latin America companies, what are the environment related on that? We are not going only to work with suppliers, but with ONG, with the governments, and try to also explain the local situation of the supplier. We use case studies to show you in which way other companies have already put in place these kind of strategies. And in the block 4, we show you and we teach you how to design a life cycle assessment. Not only think about the final product, but think about supply chain in a more circular way. So we used the circular economy principles put into play in the place of a supply chain. We show you how to design a supply chain with these circular economy principles. And the second part of this course, which is very well received by the students, and they really loved this course, is because we use a business simulation game. We work with triple connection business game, which allows you to put in place what you learn. So it's not only about providing to you all the theories, but you'll be able to implement these theories This business game is very successful, and the originality of this is that it's called triple connection because you can apply profit, people, and planet. And this business game engages students to implement what you have already learned. We use a chocolate milk manufacturer located in Netherlands, and you try to understand how the cacao supplier can bring a more sustainable cocoa in the manufacturing sites. Students like to choose what will be the social focus, environmental focus, and they also realize that it's a very complex decisions because they have to balance profitability and sustainability. At the end, you have to implement the strategies with the results of the profitability of the company and the sustainability part. So it's a very challenging business game, and I would say that students love do that. This is what this look, the sustainability business game simulation, and the problems around what supply chain can be implemented. I showed the students that it's not only about purchasing, but all the functions working with purchasing. So we need obviously the collaboration, not only with purchasing, but marketing, sustainability, operations, and sales, and go beyond what we call greenwashing, in selecting right priorities, and that's really very, very interested on that. So I would really happy to see you in this course. So that is from my part. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. I think I speak fast, but I'm very happy to answer your questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Katja. That was very insightful. I think it's a very good introduction. This is one example of the courses. No, there are various other courses. So I enjoy very much. Are there any questions from the audience? You can raise them now or write them in the chat. If not, I would also have a little question, Katja. So
Yes.
I wonder about life cycle assessment. You were mentioning that. So I also started in the last semester, I had a course on the master about sustainability transition and circular economy. And I was also starting a bit about life cycle assessment, just some introductions that students at least understand what it is, how to use it, and so on. And I also hear from business partners they always require more and more life cycle assessment. So do you have any insights how we can integrate that a bit more stronger in the program?
We use two theories that you may know, which is the cradle to cradle, which we think about not only the final of the product, but all the materials used. Which is important with purchasing and supply management is that they have all the data about how a product is developed, because it's not only one component that we have to take into consideration, but more beyond that, what the suppliers is using other suppliers, the supplier of the supplier. And we can go to the what we call the cradle. What's these raw materials, the basic raw materials from designing the product. Traditionally, companies, for example, think about, well, we are going to build a car, so we need only one part, I would say the share, and that's all. But it's not only think about one component, but in which way these shares can be more sustainable. We use natural materials, and we're going to discuss with the supplier what they are doing with their own suppliers, how these shares are preparing for being more sustainable. And we also collaborate with the second supplier. So the product life cycle is to think about all the materials, even the rare and the little ones, and not to stop just when the supplier tier one, we call. We are to look to see just until the cradle of all materials, natural materials, the base of the materials.
Yes, fascinating topic. I also met a Braungart who wrote the book From Cradle to Cradle and so on, and I like very much this research and teaching. I wish I could join one of your classes in the future. So the others, I see there is Azar from Kuwait, Rahul from India, Reska. You have a question? Please raise it if you want. You can also write it. Katja may stay another 10 minutes here or so if there are some questions. Wait a second. If not, I start to introduce a student. And then in the meantime, you can also raise your questions in the chat. So I wanted to, thank you again, Katja, for this excellent presentation. It was very insightful. I enjoy very much your short talk. Thank you. Okay, so let me introduce Mathilde Quarin. So she's an alumni from the master program. And she, so I follow her also on LinkedIn, and she's very, hello, Mathilde. She is very active.
Hello, Professor.
And so she was one of the best students. She studied first philosophy and international economic studies in Università Ca' Foscari in Venezia. You can correct me, Mathilde. And then she came to ESSCA, and she did a master in management, and finally the MSc in sustainable management. Yes, so, and after finishing her studies, she starts a traineeship in sustainable finance at the European Banking Federation in Brussels. And she's now on the way to Brussels, as I understand. So thank you for joining us under these circumstances. And also, I want to announce that she recently published a piece on regulating the ESG rating market. The European banking sector perspective. She's an expert in ESG rating. And yes, so if you want, can briefly present your article and what you're doing in your job and how maybe the studies at ESSCA help you to find your job, Mathilde. That would be great. I appreciate that you're in the car, but maybe you can speak.
Thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. So yes, indeed, my name is Mathilde. I was a student at ESSCA last semester. I mean, I've been a student at ESSCA for the past 2 years, but the semester on sustainable management was last one. And I am now working at the European Banking Federation in Brussels. And indeed, apologies for joining from the car, but I am traveling back right now. And I'm from Italy, and I was here for the holidays, and I'm going back. And so right after my last semester at ESSCA, I joined the European Banking Federation, and there I started working in sustainable finance, which was indeed the sector that I really want to look at. The beginning of my Master of Science. That was the topic that most interested me. So it was great to be able to start my journey in sustainable finance as I really wanted. And there, my experience was great. I met amazing people, and it was a really welcoming environment. And indeed, I have started working on ESG ratings. And in particular, I was given responsibility after a couple months working there for following the ESG ratings regulation, which was published in June by the European Commission. And what I do with the European Banking Federation is an association representing European banks for what concerns their interaction with the European authorities. And so what we do is actually collecting the feedback from banks and actually putting forward their position to the members of the Parliament, of the European Commission, or whatever it is needed in that moment. And so that's what I did for this regulation on ESG ratings. And I will actually post the link to my article in the chat if you'd like. And what we did was collecting, first of all, the opinion of European banks on this regulation, and then putting them forward after having consolidated them before the European Commission. And after that, the actual lobbying process started, and so it was very fun because I got to actually go to the parliament and speak to the members of the parliament by saying what banks needed with respect to that regulation in particular. And so it was a very engaging process that it's actually still going on because the regulation has not been approved by both the Council, the Parliament, and the Commission together. So that's something that's going to happen, I think, in the next few weeks. And so it's a long process, but it was very much interesting. And I don't know if I've spoke too much, but I can, of course, say more about why ESSCA was very useful in getting this job and how it helped me. But I see Professor Weber has his hand raised, so I'll wait for that.
Yes, thank you, Matilde. No, you can speak, but please speak a bit more. I found it very interesting. Also, the part that you're going to speak about your studies and how it helped you. I just had one or two questions while you were speaking. So I found it very interesting to work in Brussels, to work close to the European Union and so on. That would be also for me in a second life or in a later life something that I would love to do. So I wonder a little bit about European Banking Federation. So the banks in Italy and Spain and France and Germany, I guess they're also quite different in their approaches and so on. So how do they? So you represent all the countries, I guess. No. So how do they unite? How do they find the compromise? And then make their decisions and feed that back to the European Parliament and to the policymakers. Yes, so that would be of my interest.
Well, yes, indeed, that is the harder part because banks tend to have overall a kind of similar position, but of course, as you get into the details of the regulation, then they do not agree most of the times. And so it was actually very challenging this summer. The deadline for submitting our position paper was, I don't know, I think the 1st of September. And like all the previous weeks, it was a continuous fight between two European banks, let's say French and German banks, and they would not be able to agree on a particular issue. And so it was very challenging because I had to organize a last-minute call where we had to find a compromise, and that's like the lobbying part that gets into play, but it's also the most engaging part. I would say it was very fun but challenging. In the end, we managed to find a compromise on that, but that's, sometimes two positions seems really not conciliable, but then you have to take a step back and provide a more general statement on that, and so that no part by a position that they do not agree with, but at the same time you're making a statement that is a bit more general, but still that says something about what you want to say. And so that's something I learned on the way, but it is definitely one of the most challenging aspects of what we're doing. And yeah.
Okay, Matilde, thank you very much for answering that question. So the others, if you have questions on the way to the alumni, Matilde, please put them in the chat. And then, yes, please, if you want to tell us a little bit about which course you like most, or what did you learn most, or what did help you very good to find your current position, that would be very insightful and helpful for us, Matilde.
Of course. So first of all, I would say that the course that we had last semester on sustainable finance specifically was the most useful for me, because when I started working there, it was not I was not feeling like I was navigating in the dark, but I had a clue of what the major regulations in place on sustainable finance in Europe are. For example, the CSDR or the CSDDD, the Sustainable Finance Due Diligence Directive. And these are the main themes, as well as the taxonomy regulation. And I knew what they were thanks to the course that we had during the last semester at ESSCA on sustainable finance specifically, and also the professor. He was Professor Spakianakis, and he was working at the European Commission. So that was really, really, really the most useful course I had. But other than that, it was, I think, a chance that it was so specific on the themes that I actually had to work on, because in general, I find that you have to learn a lot when you start working and you're actually learning everything on the field. But to have this very wide background on sustainability in general, and then what it means sustainability in different fields, for example, from sustainable finance to sustainable management in the more details, and on different aspects, let's say marketing, and then supply chain, as Professor Cabello was saying, but as well what it means for sustainability in society. I'm thinking about your course on environmental justice, which was something that I would have not learned anywhere else, I think. That's like a topic that I think feels a bit of a niche, but it is not, because it's such a core of what sustainability means, because it's not only, you know, making the economy green, but also taking into account what it means for society. So I think the course indeed offered a very broad overview on what sustainability means in practice, but also in theory. So I think that's like the best takeaway can mention about the course, and I'm overall very happy about it as well. It was a very nice experience for me in general to be in Paris as well, with a lot of international students. So that's something that I would cherish, and I was very satisfied of, despite the fact that it was focused on sustainable management and I'm working in sustainable finance, which are not directly the same thing. But this also means that this kind of Master of Science also give you the opportunity to navigate different fields, despite the fact that it focuses mainly on management. But it gives you a broader preparation on sustainability. So I think that's something that was very important for me. It was not monothematic, let's say.
Okay, thank you very much, Matilde. That was a very helpful perspective from a former student. So I wish we could speak much longer. Seminar is just 1 hour, and we have 2 more guests. So I thank you very much. So I will also get back to you shortly. Let's stay in contact. So maybe your last word, your traineeship will be how long?
It was 6 months, so from last April to last October. But then I got an extension of my contract, and I don't know what will happen to me in a couple of months, but I'll figure that out.
Okay, so well then,
thank you so much.
Congratulations, and let's keep in touch. And I will share then, if everything is a bit more quiet, I will share your article, or you can do it later if you can do it from the car.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you, Matilde. See you soon. Bye. You can also stay here.
Bye. See you soon.
If there are questions, you can raise them to Matilde in the chat. Maybe she can stay a bit more. If it works. Have a safe trip home to Brussels, or not home, but to your work. Bye.
Yes. Thank you so much. Bye. Bye.
Okay. So thank you, Matilde, and so let me welcome Matusz Mizik. So I have the honor that he has accepted to speak here briefly about the current energy crisis in the EU. So as you may have seen, one of the modules of the course is the relevance of energy and natural resources management. So I wish that in the future we can hire him to give the one or the other course in ESSCA. That is still not decided, but I just want to present him as an expert. So he is an associate professor at the Department of Political Science at Comenius University in Bratislava. He is or was also visiting in the USA, visiting professor in various places in the US. You can correct me then later. And his research focused on energy security in the European Union. He has published widely in several journals, Nature Energy, Energy Policy. So he's a very famous author. He has recently published a book with Cambridge University Press on energy transitions in Central and Eastern Europe. So I think also with ESSCA's perspective to look, we have a campus in Budapest, and to look also to Central and Eastern Europe, he's a very interesting professor also for us. So thank you, Matus, for coming and for briefly speaking about your research.
No, thank you very much for a very lovely. I hope you can hear me because I have a new headset, so I'm not so sure.
It's working, yes.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. So thank you very much for having me, and thank you very much for inviting me. It's a pleasure. So I'm not alumni, just so it's clear. I'm a collaborator. I'm a colleague from a different university, but issues of energy and climate and sustainability are very close to my heart because I'm actually working on it, not directly on sustainability, but you cannot really work on energy policy or climate without the sustainable dimension to it. So when I was thinking what I would like to say today, I'm going to talk about three things. Why I think this program, right? Why this program is so so very good for the future, especially. So why to kind of why go for it? So I'm political scientist. I'm social scientist, so my background is quite different. And to be honest, I'm not the best person for the current job market. So I think that if I could go again in the market for education, I would definitely go a little bit different direction, and sustainability is one of the directions. I have a couple of reasons why. Because my first reason is very general. When I look left, right, everywhere, there is sustainable dimension being adopted these days. You have almost every single business has a sustainable office or department or something, sustainable officer, something like that. Municipalities, cities have department. Even in Central and Eastern Europe, where people would not really see this as or don't see this region as the most climate friendly and sustainable region. There are strong, or there are cities which are very strongly focused on improving life environment for their citizens. For example, Warsaw planted 1 million trees over a couple of years only. It was 1 or 2 years. So there is a lot of interest in this topic everywhere where you look. So a lot of opportunities to get jobs. I'm sorry, maybe I'm very pragmatic when it comes to this, but I think this is very important when choosing training and education, I am sure. And so I would like to also talk a little bit, connect this whole thing a little bit more to my area of expertise, to energy policy, and what why I think sustainability is very important. When we look at the current crisis, the energy crisis, it kind of sort of, and it doesn't need to be really only energy crisis, but also the previous crisis, the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. One of the solutions that was proposed at the level of the European Union was to support more green solutions, basically. So the idea was that after the pandemic, we need to restart the economy. So if we are going to do it, let's do it in a green way. Let's do it in a sustainable way. So immediately there was a lot of interest in sustainability and green solutions, because basically when it comes to energy and also, I would say, every single aspect of industry, when it comes to when people are talking about green solutions, they mean sustainable solution. They mean how we can make this work without bad impact on the environment. And also, when it comes to the current energy crisis, the solution that many countries decided for was also green, was also sustainable. Let's invest into green energy, into renewables, so we don't have to use fossil fuels that needs to be imported. Sorry, and we don't want that. So let's do sustainable green energy at home. And this wasn't only within the European Union. This is a much broader kind of feeling, and the International Energy Agency actually released new data for 2023, and it shows that the new data when it comes to new installation of renewable energy sources. So there is so much in 2023, so much renewables were installed that Germany, France, and that it would cover the energy needs of Germany, France, and Italy combined. So really, there is a lot of interest in renewables. And because of this, and the part of this program is connected also to natural resources. So although green or renewable energy sources don't require fossil fuels, they still require some natural resources. They need precious materials to build those solar power plants or wind power plants or whichever geothermal. We need stuff. We need resources for that. So now the question is, where are these new resources located? What are the geopolitical consequences of trying to get lithium from some countries, trying to get cobalt and other materials from other countries? So although it's not the future is not going to be that much about oil or natural gas or coal, definitely not coal, at least within the European Union, it's going to be about other sources. So to learn how to manage or to properly manage these sources is going to be as important as in the future as it's now important to manage natural gas and oil, and unfortunately not as much as before. I mean, not as much oil and coal and natural gas as before. So if you want to do this, you need a good education. You need to have specialization on this. So I think this is what this program can help you to gain this kind of knowledge. So I'm open to questions. I just wanted to do like little short introduction here.
Matis, excellent. Thank you very much. Yes. So I'm very impressed by your presentation. Are there any questions from the others? Raise it in the chat, please. Also, if not, I can also ask. Yes. So I would be also interested. You speak about green jobs. I totally agree. I also have one slide. Maybe there's time there to show it, how important the field is, how many opportunities occur. The pressure is there. Now we have already reached or almost reached the 1.5-degree goal of Paris. So we just need to use renewables basically from now. So if there's no question, so I cannot resist to ask this question. So as you are an energy expert, we are here in France. Nuclear energy is very well accepted in France, same as in Slovakia. Germany was against it. There are more and more voices in Germany to go back to that, to nuclear energy, even though it will be difficult because we just switched off the energy in that nuclear power plants that we have. Do you think it can be an intermediate solution for the current energy crisis. Any thoughts on that?
Actually, the case of France is extremely interesting because the prices of electricity were crazy in 2022, and in the case of France, it wasn't connected that much to natural gas as it was in the rest of the European Union, or most of the European Union, but it was connected to the kind of let's not call them problems, but challenges connected to the nuclear fleet. So there were some technical issues at a couple of reactors. Then it was very warm summer, which means that the cooling of nuclear reactors was not sufficient. There was not sufficient cold water to cool reactors, so the reactor had quite few reactors had to be shut down. So because of that, the prices skyrocketed because France stopped being, after several decades, exporter of electricity and started to import it because of lower output of nuclear. The situation has changed in 2023, and again the prices were much nicer thanks to the fact that just all the nuclear, or most of the nuclear power plants, went back online. There's at the EU level, it seems that there are two very strong camps now. The pro-nuclear is getting stronger and stronger. A couple of weeks ago or a couple of days ago, there was a letter by 11 countries, EU member states, were asked Commission to create a specific legislation for nuclear, similar to legislation that exists in the renewables area. And then, of course, you have the other camp, that is Germany and Austria and a couple of other countries that are not very kind of extremely unhappy about nuclear, and they don't want to do that, and they're doing everything that nuclear won't kind of become one of the options at the EU level. But actually, at this point, it already is, and actually it always was part of the countries have been always able to choose for themselves whether they want nuclear or not. Germany and especially Austria has been quite against this, but many countries, still choose nuclear because it's kind of, they feel it's better for them. Actually, Slovakia is a country that we have recently started our 5th reactor. So now I think we are very close to France when it comes to share of nuclear in electricity mix, not overall, but electricity mix, or we actually surpasses France. We will definitely 25 when another reactor is supposed to come online. So then we will be having around 80-85% of electricity from nuclear, which will be again fun to combine with intermittent renewables. But that's a little different story, and we will be doing it with natural gas and oil, so not ideal solution again.
Okay, thank you very much, Matus. So I hope everybody, the guests from Georgia, from India, and so on, you get a bit of an insight how complex energy policy and energy management is everywhere in the world, but especially in Europe. And that is also a major part of that master program, so natural resources and energy management, which is of course also very relevant for firms. So Matus will also stay, if he can, a bit longer, maybe 10 minutes or so, if there are some questions. And if not, so I will call you in the next days, weeks, and then we will see how we can further collaborate. So it was really a pleasure to have you here and to have you speaking. Thank you very much, Matus.
Thank you very much. And let me just say that if there would be interest in continuing this conversation outside of this room, Gabriel, please share my email. It's not secret. So
yes,
you can also find it always online. So
okay, I will share your email. There's a question from Rahul, I think. Yeah, please raise your question.
Yeah, hi. Good evening here in India, and to all the participants and to the guest speaker. Of course, I'd been listening, and you have said that you are an energy expert, but perhaps just this question is just simply coming because there's so much talk on sustainability. So I just like to know your views on how big is the challenge to get the developing world on board especially when it comes to the question of sharing the burden with respect to the cost of transitioning to sustainability, especially because there's a big debate about the countries which are responsible for the pollution during the industrial era and the current countries which actually pollute now more at this level. Of course, it is not at all at a political level, but just at a basic level of understanding, because there's a lot of debate around this specific issue. Your thoughts, please.
Thank you very much. This is really good question, and it's really difficult to answer in a very kind of concise way. I would say that what the EU and some other countries are aiming for to become carbon neutral, I think it's not enough, and there have been efforts already to turn this carbon neutrality into something like carbon to go further, go beyond, meaning that not to rely on carbon sink, but to use the carbon sink to actually support or get more, get rid of more CO2, get rid of more emissions, thanks to this local carbon sink. So basically, my argument is that the countries that have been enjoying cheap but very polluting energy for decades, and it also concerns post-socialist countries like Central Europe, definitely. We should not turn for these countries to start doing more and to pay the price, and only then ask other countries to follow. Because what will this bring? This approach will bring one big advantage, and we have seen this when it comes to renewables, for example, photovoltaic solar power plants, that when there will be enough money put into developing of new methods and developing of new technologies, then these technologies will become more and more affordable. And once they will be affordable, then they will be picked by everybody, or they will be used by everybody, not only those who have some policy ideals behind it. So, for example, within the European Union, we are currently in a situation where renewables are the cheapest sources of electricity, because it's just cheapest. Like it's easier to produce electricity from solar power plant, photovoltaic power plant, or a wind power plant, especially offshore wind power plant, than from coal or from any other source. Nuclear, I'm not so sure about. But this is because there has been so much money put into development of renewables that their price went down very rapidly. So I think that we need to kind of go even further, put even more effort into the development of renewables, so the renewables will be used also by other countries without the need to push anybody to do anything, because I don't think that Europe or the global South has any right to push other countries to do that. I of course understand why they do it, because when you are using coal and very low quality coal that produces a lot of emissions, is the cheapest way how to limit the emissions when you are focusing on the most emitting sources. If you are trying to fix a system that is based on or improve system that is based on natural gas that produces much less emissions, then your winds are much lower than when you are looking at coal power plants, for example. So it would bring most rewards, but of course it's not fair to say to countries that haven't reached the level that the global north has reached yet to do something, because yeah, we are now in the middle of a problem that was caused by global north. Let's face it.
Yes, Matthias, I totally agree. That is also a bit part of my course on ecological economics. I will also speak about environmental justice and climate justice. So these aspects, yes, the global north has historically emitted a lot, no, and then we cannot say to the south they have to have immediately the same level of renewables that we have. That's totally correct and a very interesting research topic and a policy making topic. And I also want to make sure that so we have a very global and international student and also professor for us. Now we have focused here a little bit on Mathilde from Italy, who's working in Brussels, and Matus from Slovakia. And but it is more or less it's a bit sure we are a European institution, no, but also of course we look like we have a global perspective, and that is also in our student force. So we always welcome a lot of students from America, from India. So the groups in the master, we have 35 students every year, the intake, and it is we want to have as much diversity as possible. We have, I can say that here, we have accepted one student already, and she is from Nigeria. So we really want to have a global perspective in that master. Okay, thank you, Matus. And I see here there's also Alban is there. It's another teacher who's intervening in sustainability. We have also Mike Hüttinger here, a professor from ESSCA, who is the director of the Master of Global Management. So you can also, of course, intervene and share a little bit about your thoughts about ESSCA, about studying at ESSCA, if you want. And please, yes, if there are other questions to Marcus, please raise them. And Raul, I'm very thankful for you that you are raising this global issue, that we are sure that we are not speaking only about you. Okay, good. Okay, so we will share your email also if you want to get in contact with Marcus. Thank you very much. Though also there is another student, Zachary. I don't know if he's here. If not, Vivi, if you want, you can also put my slides. You have them. Maybe from, if not, from the others. Yes, okay, here are my slides. Good. Okay, so it is a PDF. So it is. I have just prepared a few slides. There's maybe not so much new information for you, but I was considering it important that you may hear the information that is available in the net, also from my side a little bit. And then we can also go to the end of this webinar, and then you can raise maybe more concrete questions that you have about how to apply and these kind of things that may also be also of interest for you. Yes, if you go down, if you scroll down, yes, so not the first one, Vivi. You can put the first one. So yes, so why ESSCA? So yes, so ESSCA is yes, it is a triple crown. So that means CSP, EQUIS, accreditation. So that it is one of the few business schools in the world that have this that has this accreditation. So it is yes, it is around the top 100 business schools globally, especially for its master programs. And it is also a very family type atmosphere here in ESSCA. So it's a very human atmosphere where students feel, especially that are coming from other countries, warmly welcome. We have, like in France and especially in ESSCA, there's a huge tradition of associations. So you can come and you can be the member of sports or cultural associations, also to socialize. No, for us, studying is one thing, but socialize, getting to know the other students is the other thing. No, it's like it is, yes, so it is also an opportunity to, let's say, half of the students will be international students that apply is the students from Nigeria that I was mentioning, and the other half will be students that started or that are coming from ESSCA, like Mathilde, for example. She did a master in ESSCA, and that her second year then was this Master of Science. So it will be a good mix of French and international students where you can make networks that will help you also in your future career. And I was responsible so far for 2 cohorts, and I see them communicating with each other and helping each other in their job market approach. Okay, so yes, climate change, environmental issues are there. There's a need for sustainability. Policymakers ask for ESG reporting, no, environmental social governance reporting. You see, Mathilde was presenting on that. She found a job straight after studying in the European Banking Federation in Brussels. And so we want to connect also sustainable management and social impact assessment. So it is also important that students have a social impact, that firms have a social impact. So if we go to the next slide. Yes, so I was just looking for some job advertisements today, and yes, the one you see on the right-hand side here, Starbucks, they look for a senior manager and global responsibility and social impact. So just to highlight, so that is the topic of social impact is getting ever more important. So how can I also have an impact, not only speaking about sustainability, but walk the talk? No? How can I integrate it in my company by using life cycle assessment, as Katja Picobello was presenting, or in my entire supply chain? Yes, and then there are also some other careers. Yes, ESG analyst here in the example on the left-hand side. PwC, German speaking, that will be, ESSCA also offers German classes, but it's not foreseen for that master, except you have a need on that. I'm German. We have a couple of Germans here teaching in France, so it's a very European institution. Yes, and so CSR manager, CSR consultants. Most of my students, they desire to be CSR consultants after the studies. The whole supply chain, I put in the middle here the circular economy model. So you see in all of this, in sustainable design, production, distribution, consumption, collection, and waste management, and raw materials, that's all fields where green jobs are needed, where sustainability skills and knowledge is needed, so where you can apply after your studies. There's an extreme high employability for students that study with us, especially in that master program. Okay, so then next slide, Vivi, please. You go down. Yes, so it is okay, I can start with that. So here are the courses that I want to briefly show you. So we have sustainable operations management. So that would be Katja Picobello probably, who was speaking at the beginning of this session. Yes, natural resources and energy management. If Matus Music in the future is willing to come, if he could do it, or also other colleagues. I myself, I'm teacher and professor in ecological economics, where I would speak about environmental justice, for example, climate justice. That what Raul was raising, the issue of justice. What is about the global south? How? What are the options for the global south to be sustainable, but also to grow? No, like it is of course clear that the countries of the global south, they need a huge growth in the future, whereas Europe, maybe a steady state economy is acceptable. Maybe yes, for the sake of arriving climate goals, we can accept not to grow in the future and just stay on that level that we currently have. Of course, as you see here, artificial intelligence is also relevant for sustainability. We will also teach that. So this is a little overview about the courses. If you have any questions, please let me know or write in the chat. Yes, maybe if you can go up. I think we missed one. Yes. No, yes. Okay, it's a PDF. So it will be 2 semesters. After that, you can also do an internship in any country of your choice. And here are also a bit more keywords. Yes, so we want to, let's say, teach sustainability as a business priority, environmental impact assessment, so that you really can go to the job interview, and when they ask, so what can we do now? What can we do now? Today I got this cup here from EDF. Now they are a sponsor also of the Paris Olympics. Yes, that will be also nice. So if you arrive in summer, you will just arrive at the Olympics. So EDF, Énergie de France, no, a very big utility company. So if they ask you, so what can we do now? And then you can say, yes, life cycle assessment of all the products, of all the processes that you have in your company. So like hard tools that can be applied in firms. Now we start with environmental footprinting, like environmental or carbon footprint. It's a very basic, but it's also a good method that also SMEs, so smaller firms, can apply, because often carbon footprint is, if you reduce that, you normally reduce also your water footprint, your waste footprint, and so on. So these are related, and for a bigger company, more complex tools like life cycle costing, life cycle assessment can be used, and all these aspects will be taught in the master program. Yes, also the strategic level of corporate sustainability, the related costs, and so on. Okay, so we are getting to the end. I go to the last slide. So if you go a bit more down, Vivi. Thank you. Yes, so that's also here in the net. So you can be a fourth year undergraduate, have a fourth year undergraduate degree, or a third year with some professional experience. We require a B2 level for non-native English speakers. I think that shouldn't be a problem. And yes, so that are the requirements. Last one, Vivi, thank you. If you go down, there should be another one. Yes, yes, so just how to apply, yes, go down. So you can see that in the internet also, how to apply. You can apply on our website. I just want to highlight again, so we have an early bird discount. So if you apply before the February 15, you can receive a 15% of your fees. And yes, also I was teaching a professor in the UK before, and their international student paid much more than a British student. So that's not the case in ESSCA. So, and also we are a not-for-profit organization. So your fees are for the professors for our building. So it's not for profit. And if you apply before 15th of February, it will be also a significant reduction on your fee. And we also offer scholarship, excellence scholarship, and high potential scholarship. Please inform on the website, or you can also go back to me and if you have questions. Okay, so that's it for now. Sorry for taking a bit more time. It is 5 after 6. Please, if you have questions, let me know. So there is a question of Clémence. Yes, Clémence, please go ahead.
Yes, sorry. I just have a question because you were talking about an internship to do. I suppose it's 6 months. And yeah. Is it possible to do the program not in internship, but alternately with school and work, or not?
Well, you have to come. No, it is like it's a present. Yeah, it's a presence master program. So of course you can also work. Yes, you can turn your camera on, that the others see you. also, Vivi, you can help me here, yes? So you may know one of the other question, or Mike, you can all help me in answering the question. So the internship is not, it's not mandatory, yes? You can of course use also your experience in your work. So what is mandatory is like the 12 months program and the master thesis. That's something that we require to give you the title. And then of course you can benefit from being a student and to do an internship here in Europe, for example, but that is not mandatory. Clemence, yes, you are from the US. Here in France, maybe they pronounce it maybe different. So
No, I come from France.
Oh, you're from France. Okay, so I can say Clemence.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So you're in Paris.
No, I live in this house. So I live in close to Marseille in Aix-en-Provence.
Okay, yes, and you speak so good English, so that I was thinking that you are, well, of course, many French do, no, but you're totally accentless. Okay, good. So you're studying in Aix-en-Provence at the moment.
I just finishing my my study, the 4 years of study. I did it at schema in this house close to Nice, and I just come back from Brazil to do my last years of study. So now I'm searching to do a fifth years of study, masters in sustainability.
Okay, that is great. I will share my email in the chat also. Like, if there are later some questions coming up, you and all the others, please come to me and contact me if you want. Okay, that's fine. So if you have other questions, Clemence, let me know. And then
no, it's okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And then if not, Rahul, you still have your hands up. Maybe that is still from before, or you have another question. Yeah, you have another question.
Yeah, no, yeah, I just typed the question which I wanted. I think I got an answer to that. Yes, I think you have answered to that. No.
Okay, yes, Vivi answered, no?
Yes, I think I've got an answer to that. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, she answered.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, so think a bit. If you have other questions, please tell me. I'm here another half hour, so no problem. Of course, the people that have to leave, no? And there's another question from Mama.
Good evening.
Hello, yes. Hello, Mama. So please.
Good evening. My name is Mama Sunday Jofan from Nigeria.
Hello, you're from Nigeria. Yes, please. I hear you well. Go ahead.
My question is on internship. As you mentioned earlier, that you can have your internship in any country of your choice. I want to know, is it where the ESSCA have campuses, or whether they have campuses there, or they don't have campus? You can do your internship in any country of your choice.
Yes, Vivi, you can also help me with that. So, like the master will be in the Paris campus, no? But as a student at ESSCA, so as I understand, you can make your internship in any country of the European Union, or of course you can also do it elsewhere. Yes, so that we. I think it is easier to do it somewhere here, but if you have, let's say, a place in the US or wherever it is, it should be fine. No? I think, as I understand, with the visa as a student, that when you come here, you can do it easily in the European Union. No? If you decide to do it somewhere outside the European Union, it is for ESSCA totally fine also, but you may have then also another visa for that country. So, but in the European Union, you can do that. Yes. But please, Vivi, if you want to add something. Any other question, Mama? Mama?
Yes, is the opportunity only for masters, or for undergraduates can still do that?
I didn't understand so well. can you say again? And what I wanted to say also to your other question, we also have a big network of companies that we collaborate with. No, and we also have a list from the alumni or that have done an internship. So, and we have also people at ESSCA that help you to find your internship. So that I wanted to add that. But if you repeat your question,
Okay. My question is this opportunity only for master's students, or is for both undergraduates and masters?
Well, let's say, we have a program Grande École, no, like a 5 years master program, undergraduate program. We have bachelors, and they all foresee internships. Yes, so it depends on your qualification and what do you want to apply to. But yes, you can do internship in all these programs. So it depends. I don't know what. So what you're looking for? You're looking for either undergraduate studies or you're looking for a master's.
I'm applying for master's.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
Or
Okay.
undergraduate.
Yes. Like for all our programs, there are internships foreseen. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Particularly in the master program. I would love to see your application, Mama. And so yes, I can also add. So I will do. There's also an admission interview. So for the sustainability master, I will do all the admission interviews. So please, Mama or whoever I see, Clemence, Vanessa, Rahul, Reska, all that I see here, you don't. You can tell me then if you have the admission interview that you have been on the webinar. So that would be nice to catch up. Okay. Yes. Bibi was also putting here. Yes, there's a lot of help from ESSCA for the students to find internship. Okay, so thank you. Any more questions from your side, Mama, or from the others?
No, I don't have any.
Weber, just one last question.
Yes.
I think I have taken a lot of space today for questions.
No.
So just the last question would be that if we have completed our post-graduation as well as graduation with English as the medium of instruction, are we still required to provide the language proficiency certification? Is that mandatory?
You mean if you have studied in English already?
Yeah.
I don't know actually. Vivi, can you help us out here? I know that like Indian students generally have a very good level of English, no? So there's and it's also not so
actually
hard. Yes.
I was just coming from the point because of course all programs are different, but then when you look at for sustainability, without naming the institutes, there are many institutes in France which do not insist on the language proficiency test if we have done our graduation with medium of instruction being English. Now, since there was not much of clarity on this, I thought I would raise this point. So even if you could get back to me on later on this, that would be absolutely fine. I have your email address. Either way.
Yes. So yes, that's good. So I think yes, if you send me an email, just that I have your contact, and then I will inform myself about the absolute requirement of this certificate. Now I can also understand your point, and we will also in the admission interview we also rate or we evaluate the level of English. So we will then again check if the English level is sufficient. As I speak with you, it's totally fine. No, so from that side there is no problem. So yes, please send me a quick email, and then I will find out if it is really necessary. Yes, so I think for for US student, we also not apply an English certificate now, and English is a widely spoken language in India also. So I will find out about that.
Yeah, thank you, Weber. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, the others? No more question. Okay, so then I thank you very much for coming. Sorry for speaking 15 minutes more. I really enjoy speaking with you. Vanessa, you ask, is the Campus France process necessary? So what do you mean by that? So the study place is Paris. Is that your question, Vanessa, or what do you mean by that?
Yes, well, I'm Mexican, and normally we have to go through a process with Campus France to apply. So I want to know, I mean, it's not for every program, every school, but I would like to know if with you it's necessary or not.
Well, Vivi, you can help me here, and Mike, I haven't heard about Campus France, so I don't, but I also don't want to say something wrong. I think that you apply directly with us, so I don't know about this Campus France process. So can I also do it like as with Rahul? You sent me a quick email, just okay. If you say yes for non-EU student, I'm not quite sure. Okay, so yes, Vanessa, can I ask you to send me an email and I find out about that?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Good. Yes, for Mexico. Okay, I love that we have a global distribution here. No, Georgia, Algeria, India, Mexico. Yes, I would love to have such a group also in the September intake. Okay, any other questions? Thanks again. Yes?
No, there is not any other question. That was a beautiful and amazing.
Okay, that's great. That's great. I'm glad that you like it, ESSCA. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
I hope to see you soon.
Yes, see you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, bye.
Love to see your applications soon. Bye.